Hello again and welcome, and we're back in Salisbury for a wander round Old Sarum Castle. It's a site of an old castle and the first cathedral, so the cathedral that was here before Salisbury Cathedral. It's a bit of a walk from the bus stop, but there is parking up here, so we're going to have a nosy. So we've got a car park over here, and then our visitor centre a bit further up. Basically, it was a cathedral and a castle and a settlement, like a village, before Salisbury was even a thing. If you have a look over there, for zooming, you can see Salisbury Cathedral. Did a video about that the other day. And here's a bit of info. That's the old motte down there. And in here is the castle. The outskirts of the grounds, you can actually have a look for free, but if you want to come into the visitor centre and then inside the castle walls, you need to buy tickets, which you can buy online. But, fantastic, but it is a bit of a journey, so you want to get your walking shoes on. Bit of info there for you. So we're in the courtyard at the moment. In the 12th century, this open grassy space was a bustling courtyard of the royal castle. Paved paths ran between the main buildings. Elsewhere, the surfaces would have been cobbled or covered with gravel. So we're right in the centre of the castle at the moment. There's a nice little picnic area there and a little gift shop back over that way. Grab a drink and some guidebooks and that. So let's have a nosy. So here we have a well here, the main source of water in the castle apart from what drained off the lead roofs. Original depth would have been more than 70 metres. So that's the well down there. So we'll have a look over just behind the picnic area. The weather's not great today, but that's Britain for you. So, as you can see, that's quite a sheer drop, but it's all gated off. These would have been rooms, and I think Would have been a fire there probably or something like that. Lower chapel. So this was the lower chapel of St Margaret. The nave and chancel were both vaulted, and the side walls were probably originally decorated with carved arcading. An altar stood at the arched cove at the far end. I think that might have been the altar there. It's a little bit rainy today. There we go, a bit more information. In the 12th century, few visitors would have gone beyond this point. Only those who had been granted an audience with the king or his officials would have entered a building to your right, which I think they're going on about this building here. So, if you want to book tickets for this, Sarum Castle, Old Sarum, you can do online, englishheritage.org. So this would have been the castle's back entrance. This narrow passage between the Great Tower and the courtyard palace was the back of the castle. So as you can see, we're up on a mound, a hill, and you could see for miles around. So at one point this would have been a tall tower. You can see the steps there leading up, but it was demolished many years ago. I think by order of the king, I'm not sure. But if you go on Wikipedia, you can get more information about Old Sarum Castle. I think that is where the old cathedral is, but we'll go down there in a little while. The royal residence. So this would have been where the king and queen would have lived, and the courtiers. There's a bit more information for you there. The Cathedral of Old Sarum. The ruined walls in front of you are what remains of the great cathedral church. So Yeah, that was the old cathedral. That before Salisbury Cathedral was built, this was built. And a little bit of trivia for you: Old Sarum had 2 MPs. Even when the local population declined, they still had 2 MPs until not so long ago. So there's a bit of information for you. I think originally these castle walls would have been a lot higher, because the reason I say that is if you have a look here, you can see steps leading up. So here, there's loads of like nooks and crannies. That is quite far down there. Let's see what this one is. A royal privy. So this would have been the royal toilet, basically. And that is what they would do, just sit over a hole and let everything drop through when they went to loo. So there's a bit of information for you. You can see for literally miles around. So back down there, that's where the courtyard is. So again, that's the old cathedral ruins. And we'll go and have a nosy at the other side. So as you can see, there's a motte all the way around this castle. Go back up. You can see it better there. If you have a look down there, there's a motte all the way around. There would have been rooms above our head, so basically up here. And the castle was abandoned in the 16th century and the tower was demolished. In fact, you can see the moat a little bit better up here. So when we were up there, that would have been where the rooms would have been, up here. And there's like a bit of a motte down there as well. So here is where King John's new hall would be. There's a bit of info there for you. Right, so we're going to go up here. If you've got kids with you, you're going to have to kind of just keep an eye on them a little bit, because there are some quite big drops, as you can see down there. That's the moat that goes right around the castle. And again, you can see Salisbury Cathedral in the distance. But yeah, there's some great views round here. I'm not sure what that is down there. Some sort of shaft. Could have been a dungeon. Oh, and they've got a plane. So basically all the way over that direction is the city of Salisbury, and I did a couple of videos this week, including this one about 3. Salisbury Cathedral. I did a walk around Salisbury Cathedral and inside, which you can find on my channel, and also a bit of a walk around some of the medieval streets as well. So if you want to check them out and like, subscribe, that'd be great. So as you can see over, so that's where the tower would have been, and then obviously the privy as well over in the corner. That's the visitor centre down there. But yeah, it's a good bit of history. If you're into your history, definitely come here. Like I said, there's a gift shop, and you can also buy Heritage England membership. I think it's about 60-70 quid for the year. We've got a 25% discount on at the moment, so if you're staying in Britain or visiting around Britain, it gets you into all the heritage, English heritage venues, castles, all that kind of thing, landmarks. Yeah, it's lovely. As with the Great British weather, you do get rain, but normally during summer it doesn't last that long, so you might want to bring a coat and suitable footwear. But yeah, it's lovely. I think we'll go and have a look at the cathedral ruins now. to get to the cathedral ruins, you need to go back out through the drawbridge. As you look here, this is how the castle would have looked. So, a bit of information there. William the Conqueror inherited the Old Sarum from the last Saxon king of England. So a bit of info there. So you can see that's where the drawbridge would have been. That's where the castle would have stood. This is the motte down here. So it's on a big mound of earth and rock. And that's how it would have looked back in the day. About 1,000 years ago. We're going to go round to the right hand side of the mound to the rear and have a look at the ruins of the cathedral. So this is what the old cathedral would have looked like. There's a bit of info for you. And that's where it was walked from, and this is the mound here and the motte. So he was stood up there before. Yeah, we've got the ruins here of the old cathedral. I'll try and get an aerial photograph if there's any here. If not, I'll try and get one off internet just to have a nosy. But this was here about 1,000 years ago, and then what happened is basically the settlement of Old Sarum kind of dwindled and everyone moved over and founded Salisbury, built a new cathedral and a medieval town. Kind of took it from there really. But yeah, this is the original cathedral that was in the area. So you can see the old walls. But like a lot of old castles and churches and things like that, the locals would have just repurposed all the stone and all the lead and all the wood for basically building new houses, new churches, that kind of thing. It's like some sort of cellar, some sort of basement or chapel or something. It's quite a lot to see here, kind of. I don't think you'd spend the whole day here as such, but if you're in the area, it's definitely worth coming and just checking it out, because obviously it's history and it's kind of a big key part in the history of Salisbury. So if you're on holiday down Wiltshire or in Salisbury, it's definitely worth a look. So that's kind of what it would have looked like inside when it was still built up. We do have quite a large tradition in Britain for cathedrals. You've got like York Minster, you've got Westminster Abbey, you've got Salisbury Cathedral. York Minster's really nice. You should, if you're ever in York, it's another medieval town. Definitely highly recommend going there. We're quite high up here, really. Look over here, see what we can see. So basically all round it you've got Salisbury Plains. A lot of farming goes on around here, and it's quite nice. If we're not far from Stonehenge, I would recommend going to Stonehenge as well, because that is very, very nice. It's got a good visitors centre, and obviously a lot of history as well. But it is a lovely part of the country, Salisbury, and the West Country in general. So if you went down to like Dorset and then worked your way across towards Devon and Cornwall, some really, really pretty places. And obviously up there is where we stood before, where the royal privy is, and that's where the tower would have stood, up there. And between the mound and where we are now, where the cathedral is, there would have been obviously the motte, which is still there, and that would have been a form of defence against invaders or rival kings. Or foreign invaders like the Normans and Vikings and people like that. And again, Salisbury Cathedral in the distance and the city of Salisbury. It's a very peaceful place now in the 21st century. It's all gone back to nature obviously, and but back in the day it would have been busy, hustle bustle with pilgrims, market traders, craftspeople, all working for the king and the local community. But as you can see, this is where the castle is again, and the motte. It does look quite far down, so don't get too close to the edge, but it's pretty much just all back to nature. Really glad that you've seen this video. If you'd like to like, subscribe, there is a link in the description if you want to support my channel. But yeah, it's been lovely spending a bit of time now in Salisbury and the surrounding areas. Definitely would highly recommend coming down to this beautiful city and the surrounding attractions. Again, Old Sarum Castle, that's really nice. Good for a picnic actually. As you can see, there's plenty of land and everything around. Stonehenge, again, nice historic site. There's also Woodhenge, which is near Stonehenge, which you can go and see. Just make sure you wear a coat, because the British weather obviously can close in a little bit and you can get a bit wet. And I would also recommend, if you're coming here, to get suitable footwear as well, because if you're walking on wet stones in like a castle, you know, you might be finding it a bit slippy in trainers, so I would probably put some walking boots on as well. So yeah, well, thanks for watching again. If you'd like to subscribe, that'd be great, and thanks for watching.